It's a very academic question, first of all. That should be said at the outset, that this question comes from the academy. Not to say that that's a question that shouldn't be asked, but it's very important to say that not everyone has to ask that question. You don't have to define everything and try and put something in a box. That comes from a particular Enlightenment and post-Enlightenment way of thinking. Might not necessarily be useful in all contexts. For example, if you're trying to bring people to experience art, is the best way to do that to make them define it first? I would say no. Perhaps aesthetic experience might be a better way. Perhaps looking at the stories of the objects, that might be a better way. To bring people in and educate them and to let them learn and experience these things for themselves, rather than saying, hey guys, here's this really complex question that no one has been able to answer. And we think it's important for you to answer it because we do too. But I was reminded of there's this kind of very famous saying about Sufism. Let's call it mysticism or tasawwuf. And the saying is that in the beginning, Sufism was a reality without a name. And later it became a name without a reality. And it's very similar. Nobody called it Islamic art in the past because they just lived that reality, right? It was a reality and then it became a name. We took all this stuff and we had to figure it out. We had to put it into this box. And now it's become a name and we're just arguing over the reality.
I think that's a crucial point that Bilal was mentioning, because we were discussing this last night, is that this was never a debate historically. If you look at through historical literature in the Muslim world, there was never a discussion about what is Islamic art, what is not Islamic art. And as far as I'm aware, I don't think it even comes up in the terminology. Maybe it doesn't even merit going into the question in further depth, because it's something that's really understood. It's inherent, and people who understand it, especially in the Muslim world, and people who are part of this culture appreciate this expression of art in all its forms, of the historical and even contemporary.